Hey everyone, Belligerent here with our first edition of the War Report. This is going to be a weekly report on everything that's keeping up to date with Vainglory. Some weeks will be more busy than others. This week being one of them because we have an update coming out that we weren't expecting, let's be honest. Because, well, you know, Vainglory made a oops. Don't believe me? Let's take a look at Twitter. Okay. The in-game season countdown is incorrect. So while we all thought we still had about 5 days to pick up some of that summer sunshine, we don't. Tomorrow is the 1.22 update. Okay, so it's going to start at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and it's expected to take 6 hours. However, what does that mean? Generally, they get it done faster than what they expect. So, but you're probably looking at downtime from 8 to 12, 1. You know, it depends on how fast they work, but they got a lot of stuff coming out this update. Let's take a look at some of that. We know the most exciting one that they have coming out is Baron. So let's take a look at Baron Spotlight.
Hey, this is Ciderhelm, and welcome to the Vainglory Hero Spotlight. Today we're looking at Baron, a living siege engine who rains destruction on his enemies. Baron brings incredible range and powerful burst damage to his team. When building crystal items, he becomes mobile artillery, shelling enemy teams from extreme distances. His weapon path enables aggressive maneuvering during combat, allowing him to quickly bring down high-value targets.
I really like that he has both a weapon and crystal path, and they work differently.
Each rocket
That's exciting.
explodes on impact, dealing full damage to surrounding enemies. This splash damage is reduced against lane minions. When Baron activates his Porcupine Mortar, he lobs a shell to the target location, dealing heavy damage to enemies on impact. Baron can hold up to 2 shells at a time, allowing him to fire twice in rapid succession. Enemies are also lightly slowed when hit by a mortar. When purchasing red weapon power items, the strength of the slow is greatly increased. On the other hand, blue crystal power items extend the range of this ability, allowing Baron to shell enemies from greater distances. I recommend learning and upgrading this ability first. When building crystal items, always take the overdrive as soon as possible.
I really like how the new characters in
his
Vainglory are kind of introducing a new style of play. Samuel and now Baron,
basic attack
totally different types of attacks and movements than any of the other characters that we're used to.
In rapid succession. Blue crystal power items greatly extend the range of this ability. However, Baron takes longer to power up for jumps the further away he is from his destination. Red weapon power items reduce and eventually remove this power-up time.
So the question is, do you want to jump quickly or do you want to jump far? That's going to be a difficult choice, and it's going to come down to play style, and there's going to be situations where you want the long range, and there's going to be situations where you just need to get the hell out of there.
In flight, and for a moment after landing.
That's going to be interesting.
I recommend learning this ability at level 2, upgrading it second, and taking it to overdrive when dealing with teams that have strong stuns or other power controls.
Bright Bulwark is going
Baron's
to affect
Ion
that.
Cannon ultimate allows him to mark a location for an orbital strike.
Watch this damage.
A few seconds
this is
later,
just
the
ridiculous.
location is obliterated, dealing massive damage to all enemies in the area. This deals full damage to enemies near the center, while dealing reduced damage to enemies near the edges.
Okay, so now
enemies can see and hear
while
the
we
moment
don't know
Baron activates Ion Cannon, but
what
only
kind of
his
build
allies see the
that they were
marker.
at, we do know a couple of things. We ran some numbers, but we don't know what kind of build they had on Baron. It doesn't show us.
Impact.
But you realize that his Ion Cannon is going to be able to do somewhere around 2,800 damage with just that one hit.
I recommend learning and upgrading this ultimate whenever available. When building weapon items, consider the final rank of the ultimate over the Porcupine Mortar Overdrive. A teamfight breaks out as the enemy Alpha and Catherine catch Baron and his team out in the open. As the enemy Celeste rushes in, Baron fires 2 mortars to block her path. Because he's building heavy crystal power, Celeste is forced to back off to avoid the extreme damage of each shell.
More of the zoning type abilities they've been introducing with Lyra and Samuel, being able to zone the map is becoming a big emphasis for
due to his slower movement and the power-up time on his jump jets, he'll need to eat the full barrage to continue moving to safety. But Baron has just triggered his Ion Cannon. Despite outranging Celeste, she moves quicker and strikes faster than him, and his only chance to take her down depends on landing this ultimate. As the ion cannon's
Now, if he had
location
kept
is
going
revealed,
up towards the
Celeste has
Trent
already
there,
started
wouldn't he have
moving
just
into
missed
its
that
impact
burst
zone to
altogether?
avoid another mortar shell. Many heroes can easily avoid getting hit by any individual mortar shell, but this very trait makes him fantastic at driving opponents into his ion cannon or another mortar shell. On pure instinct, Celeste backs away from the ion cannon, getting annihilated from both impacts.
That scene right there helped out
Alpha
a
and
tremendous
Catherine move
amount
in,
when trying to
sealing
work
Baron's
backwards
fate.
and figure out
By
how much
splitting the team
damage
at the
Baron
start
was
of the fight,
actually
Baron
doing
was
with that
forced to
ion
spend his
cannon.
time covering his weaknesses rather than positioning for his damage and zoning. During this match, Baron and the enemy Jewel have been massive threats, with each team setting up to play to their strengths. Baron and Arden prepare for the inevitable fight as Saw baits the enemy team. The moment they dive in, Arden brings down the gauntlet. At this moment, Saw has already been stunned by Catherine and now rooted by Rhyme. However, Arden has managed to stun Jewel in the gauntlet walls, providing the only real chance Saw has of staying alive. Right now, Baron has two huge things going in his favor. First, the gauntlet walls allow him to safely stay close to the fight. Second, because Rhyme and Catherine are both focused on finishing Saw off, he knows exactly where to aim his mortars. He's already hit Rhyme once, and as the second shell lands, he'll hit him again. Saw backs off thanks to Arden's Vanguard just as the ion cannon strikes, erasing Catherine and Rhyme. Jewel is the last enemy standing, but despite her extreme damage, Baron finishes her off with a flyby, not even looking at the explosion as he pushes forward. Thanks for watching the Baron Hero Spotlight. Download Vainglory free on the Apple App Store, Google Play, and the Amazon App Store.
Baron looks really exciting. So like I was saying during the video, we did some numbers. His ion cannon will be able to do at least somewhere around 2,800 damage. What type of build, I don't know. What we do know is in that shot where he took out all three at a time, Skye was at level 12 with no extra shielding, no Aegis or nothing like that. In the gameplay scene you saw with Celeste, she was also at level 12. You could actually see that on her health bar. That's how we figured out a lot of these numbers. And she had an Aegis. That's why it only did 923 damage to her. But they were both at about 2,800-ish damage, 2,900, somewhere in there. So we know it's going to do that much. I'm really excited for Baron. I am curious about where he's going to fit in. You know, he's listed as a sniper. They're probably going to put him in lane, you know, in-game in their little stats, just like they have Skye a sniper in lane, but a lot of people use her as jungle. He just seems so explosive. He seems like a little bit of overkill for the lane, doesn't he? And he doesn't attack quickly, and when you think lane, you usually think fast attacks. He's got these big, slow-loading, explosive attacks. And then he just seems really big and overkill for jungle, too. I mean, those mortar shells are going to wipe out some of those jungle camps, or at least seem like they should wipe out some of those jungle camps. So I'm curious to see where exactly he's going to fit into the game. Maybe it's just me. The size and the power that he seems to have just looks out of place. And you know that if he's a sniper, which they already have him listed as, he's not going to be a roam. He's going to be too squishy to be roam. So I'm really curious to see where he's going to fit in the current game. So moving on, let's look at the updates that they have slotted for us for the 1.22. I'm sorry, the 122 update that we have coming out right now. So first of all, they are introducing the Autumn Season Halcyon Fold map. What exactly is that? Okay, so it looks like there's going to be new decorations, pumpkins or something there. I don't know. So it says explore the latest map to discover all kinds of seasonal touches, including pumpkins, falling leaves, and other autumnal flora. In addition, the brush has been redesigned. We're excited about the brush being redesigned, right? So anyway, they're making little tweaks to the maps. That's kind of exciting. The autumn season rewards, they're going to improve your daily chest. Hopefully that means you're not just getting 20 glory coins every time you complete a quest. And I really wish that they would give you like I wish they would make it where once a day you were able to bypass a quest, because when I get stuck in all 3 of my quests are killing bots, kill 100 bots, win 5 bot matches, and kill 5 bots. I just don't like playing bots. I know they're doing it to encourage it because they want more data so that they can figure out where exactly, how to tweak the bot system. So I'm sure that's one of the reasons they have so many bot heavy quests, but I wish that once a day we could click a little X and bypass one of them. So they're improving the chest. They're giving a new season chest, a new currency, which we'll talk about a little bit later, for past special edition skins, which has been a little bit of controversy, I guess. So you got the new season chest, introducing the opals, which are going to be used to open those skins, and we'll talk more about that here in just a minute. More sunlight, and earn even more bonus sunlight. Okay. So opals and original skin identifiers, they want to give people like me who weren't around for the seasonal skins like Petal and Taka. Like, I would really like to get my hands on that Taka skin, the Knight, whatever it is, I forget. And I like the Petal skin with the pumpkin head. I don't ever use Petal, but I like that skin. So they want to give people who weren't there. I started playing Vainglory before those skins came out, but then I went on a little hiatus from playing Vainglory. So I wasn't around for those seasonal skins. I missed the Rona Bunny skin by like 4 cards, which really pissed me off. And they weren't selling the cards in the shop at that time. So you're going to have a chance to get some of those. People who got them the original go around will get the OG or something like that skin identifier in the game. And so some people like that, some people don't. Whatever it is, what it is, it's going to be there. We got the opal system coming in. Apparently, it's going to be like pulling teeth to try and get opals, if you read what they say. But moving on. They're not going to reset rank skills or skill ranks in the autumn season. Your level, if you're a POA right now, you're going to stay at a POA. You're not going to get reset at the start of the new season. They are going to introduce skill tier decay. It says they intend to, so I guess it's not coming in 1.22, but to where you'll keep your skill tier, but if you don't play for, I don't know what it's going to be, but if you don't play for a week, you're going to slowly start to see a decrease in the skill tier that you're at. And now they're also going to change the bar in your profile so you can see exactly where you're at as far as skill tier points are. So there's that. And they also tried to explain a little bit later, we'll get to it, about how we just talked about Baron. I suggest that you go read the Baron lore. That's good stuff. In the Baron early access period, just like with every character, first 7 days you can get them with ice. Afterwards, you'll be able to unlock them with the glory. 8,000 glory, I believe, is what a new character is. So ice those first 7 days, glory afterwards. I will have him on the first day. I will be on Twitch showing some Baron gameplay on the first day. And check out Vainglory Fire. I will release a Baron build guide day 1 like I've been doing. Well, I didn't release it on day 1 with Lyra, but Lyra was my first build guide. I released a Samuel guide on day 1. I will release a Baron guide on day 1 and then tweak it as we go along. But watch out for that. Okay. We already, in the video, we saw all of his abilities, so we won't talk about that. A new Celeste skin, because Celeste doesn't already have enough skins, and there's not heroes that don't have any skins whatsoever yet. We need a new Celeste skin. It is kind of cool, though, the Moon Princess Celeste special edition. That's going to be their special edition autumn skin, I guess. So you can pick that up. For the first 10 days, it's going to be on sale for ice at 1,949 ice. Its regular price will be $25.99. So it's priced like a tier 3 skin if you want to get that. I'm assuming they're going to, since it's an autumn skin, I'm assuming they're going to have cards for it. But it doesn't say here. Now we get into some really head-scratching stuff here. We get Dear Diary Lyra, and if you're like me and you're a Lyra fan, you were really excited to finally see a Lyra skin come out. But it's tier 3. What the? It's not a, from what I can see, it's not an autumn skin. I realize when they're special editions, they automatically get slotted for tier 3. But it's a tier 3? What the hell happened to tier 1 and tier 2, people? Come on, Vainglory. It almost, and I love this game, and the people that put it out do a tremendous job with it, and they work real hard. I get that. But to me, it almost feels like this is a money grab. We're just going to bypass tier 1 and tier 2 so we can get to tier 3, and everybody who is excited for a Lyra skin, right? We're excited for a Lyra skin. We're finally going to get that Lyra skin. It's going to be a tier 1. We know that because it's the first one for her that they've ever come out with. So it's going to be a tier 1. So even if they let us buy it with ice, it'll be somewhere around 999 ice. But no. This is apparently tier 3 skin, and they're working backwards. Or maybe it's the only skin they're going to give her. Or I don't know. Maybe you can tell me because I can't figure it out. But anyways, it is what it is. It's a tier 3. On sale for the first 10 days. And the other head scratcher, finally a Lance. I love playing Lance, so finally a Lance skin. Been waiting for a Lance skin. I knew it was going to be kick-ass when it came out, but it's a tier 2. Where's tier 1, people? Tier 1. This is tier 2 again. It kind of feels like a money grab. I don't and I can't blame them for wanting to get their money, but they can get their money in order, can't they, right? Give me a tier 1 first. Let me buy that. Give me a tier 2 after that. Let me buy that. Why is tier 2 Lance and tier 3 Lyra coming out? It makes no sense. It's nonsensical. And that's not what I've come to expect from Super Evil Megacorp. They usually do things that make sense even if we don't like them. Okay. Anyways, for the first 10 days, it's on sale for $11.25 ice, and after that, it will be a $14.99 ice. So it's one of the upper tier 2 skins. They're gonna have new quests, new community quests, new hero quests. Petal and Baron will have quests. Hooray for Petal! They always seem to forget about Petal. I don't know why. Quest changes. The bot quest decrease chance of bot quests for players at higher levels. I don't know what higher levels are. Hopefully that's anybody that's ranked and no longer unranked, because I don't want bot quests. And they've permanently removed the Use Glory Boost quest. I don't know that I ever saw that one. This is exciting. If you play on phone, they've changed the phone layout. They're going to put the buttons over to the left there for you. Okay, so it's easier to get to your activate items. It says, Vainglory was originally optimized for tablets, but we found an increasingly large number of players that prefer to play on phones. Over time, we've been improving the game experience for these phone-first players, and we're taking a huge step. The new layout takes full advantage of how phone players hold their device, putting items on the left-hand side underneath your thumb for much more easier and faster access. I read that wrong, but oh well, you get the idea. So if you had trouble hitting your Crucible or Fountain in time for that clutch save, you'll be surprised what a big difference the item changes can be. Okay, so to change it, on iOS, you'll go to your settings app, you'll scroll all the way down till you see Vainglory, and you'll change the HUD layout setting. Now, they say this is for phones. I wonder if it's for tablets, too. iOS is iOS, but I don't know exactly how they're going to do that. Fingers crossed that it's for tablets. I use the iPad mini, so I hold it like it's a phone because it's so small and I can reach with my thumbs, and I've been playing video games so long with my thumbs that that's how I do it. So if I could move those over to the edge on the tablet, that would be phenomenal, because I'm not the index finger tapper person. I use thumbs. Okay, so if you're on Android, open the Vainglory app, tap on your profile selection, tap on the gears icon to open your settings. Why can't they have settings buttons in both versions? I don't know. The new camera shift feature. Now, this is exciting. We're going to go ahead and watch this video since they have it here on their website for us. Let's take a listen. Or maybe not. It's not playing. So anyway, camera shift. It's a little feature. You're going to be able to slide your thumb on the minimap and give yourself a little nudge one way or the other. Head to vainglorygame.com and to the news section. You can see the update notes and you can go play that video. That wouldn't work for us right here. Okay. They're also giving you full multi-touch controls. What is that, you ask? Have you ever played Celeste or Kestrel and you're going for that one shot, one kill while you're in the base and they're all the way over fighting one of your teammates in their jungle, and you gotta tap one shot, one kill, then you gotta tap on the minimap to find where you want, and then while you're holding the minimap you gotta tap to trigger the one shot, one kill. You can't do it in reverse. You can't trigger the one shot, one kill while you're holding the minimap. Okay. Now you can. Now you'll be able to search around on the minimap, and if you see something you want to do, you can trigger your ability from there without having to do it in a specific order. Which is really nice, because there's been times where I want to do that. I want to hit that one shot, one kill, or use Celeste Solar Flare to hit them from all the way across the board, but then I don't find a good shot, or the enemy gets out of vision range so I can't see where I'm aiming, and so I'll let off the minimap and I'll go to start running back down the lane and I trigger my ultimate. And so it's great that you don't have to now activate the ability before you go to the minimap. You can search the minimap and then use it. So different orders. New way to invite friends. That's fantastic, I guess, if you have friends. I don't have many friends. It's just a better way for you to help them advertise their game, which is fine. On summer season rewards and reminders, which apparently we all get tomorrow, because that's when the summer season ends, because the countdown was wrong. So you're going to get bonus rewards, lots of cards, if you depending on your level of sunlight. I've been at full sunlight since like the first week of summer, second week of summer, so I haven't got sunlight in a long time that mattered. I hope in the new season they increase the odd. They said they're improving the chest, so I'm gonna wait and see, but I hope they increase the odds of getting the summer skins. Like I said, I've been at full sunlight since about halfway through the summer season, and I still haven't got enough cards for any of the summer skins. It's a little depressing. After they made that update where you now, for your first, second, your third, fourth, and fifth win on the weekends was when you got cards, just the amount of cards that I've actually found in chests have been ridiculously low. Okay. Another bonus payout, season chest key. Your season ending payout will also include a key to the new season chest. Use the key to open the chest and receive a hefty reward. In fact, it's possible for the season chest to grant an instant skin unlock or a jackpot of other currencies. All right, let's get into the good stuff, right? The hero balance changes. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. It depends. Alpha, who is one of the free heroes this week. We'll get into what all the free heroes are in just a little bit. Alpha, Prime Directive. So they are knocking down the damage from weapon ratio, they're cutting it in half. Wow. They wanted to, okay, so here's the comment from Zekent. They wanted to increase the reliability of Crystal Alpha. I guess they want Alpha to be more of a crystal than a weapon player. So the direct damage weapon ratio gets cut in half from 120 to 60. Damage per stack weapon ratio goes up, however, which doesn't seem to increase the crystal, from 0 to 40. Direct damage crystal ratio goes up from 90 to 200. That's a hell of a bump. Damage per stack crystal ratio goes down from 90 to 40. So they wanted to increase the crystal, but they just they went up in one place and down in another place on weapon, and up in one place and down in another place on crystal. That's a little confusing. Okay. Core charge, following the same line as the change to Prime Directive. They want more crystal, so they bumped the crystal ratio from core charge from 80 to 100%. I personally I like that. So maybe we'll start to see some more crystal alphas out there. Gives you a little more flexibility. Termination protocol. It's far too common for an enemy to simply walk away from alpha as termination protocol is activated, which is true. Unless you time, your leap just right at them, they just turn around and walk away. So they are lowering the slowdown. So instead of slowing down 70% of your movement speed, now you're just going to slow down 50%, which might help you stick to those enemies a little bit better. Koshka, more changes to Koshka. Didn't they just do like a whole makeover on Koshka, and we still need more? Alright, so from Zekant, it says, while Koshka is meant to do some serious damage with her abilities, this was hitting a bit harder than we would like, even with a low amount of crystal in her build. So apparently they made Koshka too powerful right after they got done saying that they wanted her more powerful. So the damage is changing from 75, 140, 205, 270, and 400, plus 120 crystal, to 75, 130, 85, 240, and 350. So somewhere around a 50 damage drop, at least at level at your overdrive, but your crystal ratio goes up from 120 to 130. So a little bit of a wash, a little lower and higher in your crystal ratio. They're empowering her basic attacks. Being locked in place after an empowerment attack dramatically reduce Koshka's mobility and engagements. This change will allow Koshka to maneuver around fights much more easily. This change is fairly substantial increase in power for Koshka, as it means that it will be even more difficult for her enemies to lock her down. So Koshka's empowered basic attacks no longer lock her in place longer than a normal basic attack. Twirly Death. Crystal ratio down from 100 to 80%. Let's speed this up a little bit. We are running a bit longer than I had thought. And Yummy Catnip Frenzy fixed a bug where this ability would sometimes not automatically cancel if used on a target with reflex block activated. Rona gets some changes in 1.22. For a hero who is supposed to be in the front lines brawling, Rona is a bit too easy to take down, so her health goes up a little over 100 health points at level 12. So from 799 to 1789, which was her current range, to 815 to 1893. Into the fray with a fair number of highly mobile heroes on the fold, and like we saw with Baron, they are dramatically increasing the landscape of heroes. So when Rona used to be able to do with her Into the Fray, she can't do anymore because they're getting more and more slippery. Rona needed a few more opportunities to gain Blood Rage to stick to her target, so they are dropping the cooldowns about 2 seconds for her Into the Fray. And the Blood Rage generation goes up from, it was just 20 across the board, now it's 25 across the board except for the overdrive, which is 35. And Red Mist is a powerful ability. Rona would often not be able to activate it in situations where she most needed it because of the high Blood Rage requirement. So they dropped the requirement from 75 to 50, so more of those horrible Rona tornadoes that you can never get away from, those are coming. Ozo is such great potential. He's so difficult to use and he's so squishy. So let's see what they're doing to him. They are increasing his survivability. Yes, this might give him a little more place in the current meta through healing. While he may take a decent chunk of damage during acro bounce, using 3-ring circus in opportune situations can quickly heal him back up. Heal per hit is changing from 15, 25, 35, 45, and 55 to 15, 30, 45, 60, and 75. So as much as 20 up from previous. Jules Heavy Plating. Her perk was simply not covering enough area, leading her to take far more damage than she could handle. So her perk arc increased from 90 degrees to 220 degrees. Now she's almost totally surrounded by this armor. Armor and shield granted by this perk are going up from from 40 to 150 to 50 to 175. And this is one that all of us, except for Finn players, are cheering for, and I love playing Finn, but this was a little difficult to handle. Finn was able to pull his enemies a bit too often, no kidding. So his cooldown, they're raising it up from 60, 45, and 30 to 70, 55, and 40. So 10-second difference, which is really nice. Cooldown refund on a miss goes down. So now you're only getting 10 and 20% refunded if you missed on your forced accord, and you no longer get refunds for reflex blocked force accords, thank God. Because as it was a maxed out forced accord with a little bit of cooldown items, and he could throw his forced accord about 3 times as many times as you could trigger a reflex block with Crucible. Lyra, another change to Lyra. Oh, they created a great character. I love Lyra when she came out, and then there were the Bright Bulwark tweaks, and now they're tweaking her Principal Arcanum, and now they're tweaking him. Stop changing Lyra! Although, as a jungler, I appreciate this change to Principal Arcanum. They are dropping her slow on her basic attack from 70 to 35%. That's a lot. And the energy cost is going up just 3 energy costs, so that shouldn't be that big of a hit. Now, Imperial Sigil, the energy cost changed from 65, 70, 75, 80, and 85 to 60, which is it's cheaper on your first level, 70, which is the same, 80 goes up 5, and 90 goes up 10, and 100 goes up 15. So it's getting more expensive to heal people, which I get. When Lyra came out, she was so dominating because the Bright Bulwark stayed there for 6 seconds. It was almost like, okay, I'm taking away that part of the board. Now the Imperial Sigil, here's what I'll say. This is my opinion, and everybody knows I'm a Lyra fan. That's kind of what they wanted from her, and now they're saying that's not what we wanted from her. When she came out, they said, this is a character that's going to be able to control the battlefield. You're going to decide where your teammates are allowed to heal. You're going to be able to decide where the enemies are not allowed to go. And now with Bright Bulwark only lasting 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, it's not. You don't control the battlefield at all. You just momentarily annoy them. And now taking away the Imperial Sigil, it's like, or lowering, well, they're not changing it that much. They're just making it more expensive. So if you build energy regen items, you'll be cool. I'm not that down on that. I think they had a really good thing going with Lyra, and in my opinion, they're starting to tweak her a little too much. Maybe some of you disagree. Maybe some of you hate going against Lyra. But anyways, it is what it is. Adagio gets a tweak to the Gift of Fire. They're taking Crystal Adagio's healing down a notch. So his burst heal is going from 45 to 30, and his heal per second is going from 20 to 10% crystal ratio. Okay. I don't know. There's only 2 healers in the entire game, and you're making one of them now less effective of a healer, so Lyra's really the only healer. I think we probably need a couple more healers in the game, but you can give Fountain of Renewal to anybody and then they can become a healer, but still. Alright, more changes to Petal. Look at this, more changes to Petal. They dramatically improve the Munyon AI, and now they attack significantly faster. The Munyon, seriously, they attack really fast now. This will tone down some of the pain they can dish out. How does it tone down? Oh, because they're dropping the damage. They're raising the speed and dropping the damage. So the damage goes down 6, 13, 20, 27, 41, plus 40 crystal percent instead of the 50 crystal percent. Okay. Spontaneous combustion, making this more controllable. Everybody raise your hand. If I'm raising my hand, but you can't see it, it's too close to the camera. I miss the old spontaneous combustion. I know this one lets you target a little bit better or whatever. I like just being able to push the button, all three of them run at them, and all three of them blow up. I think that was better. I wish they would bring that back. But it is what it is. So now, because what has happened, and they're fixing it now, is you try and hit combustible or spontaneous combustion, and one of your minions will have just hatched and it's way back by you, and instead of the one near your enemy exploding, this one explodes and does absolutely nothing to them. So I like the old spontaneous combustion. Bring that back, please. All right, Sky. This is good. I like this on Sky. Base range where she could be target locked increasing from 8 to 8.5. Additional locked range from death from above goes up also. Surrey Strike cooldown is coming down. Lance. The root duration on Crystal, so if you want to play a Crystal Lance, is going up. So you'll be able to root them longer. Plus 100 Crystal for an additional 0.15 second root. Githian Wall, getting more Crystal power bonuses. Okay, so the stun duration from Crystal is going up from 0.2% to 0.3%. So more improvements to Lance. I love that because Lance is one of my favorite characters. Celeste, Core Collapse. Because we need more Celeste Core Collapse, apparently. We need more of those damn stuns. Celeste cooldown dropping. Item changes. Stormguard Banner is getting a bump. Storm Crown is getting a bump. I love that because I personally love Storm Crown. I think it's one of the most underrated items in the game. Hey, Clockwork. Amplification going up. Hoorah! We all love going ups. iPhone updates you should know about. If you play on the iPhone, it's no longer compatible with iOS 6.1. So if you're on the iPhone 5, not the 5S, but if you're on the iPhone 5 and you upgrade to iOS 10, the game will crash for you. They're working to fix it. A bunch of bug fixes. I'm not going through all of those. So those are the updates coming with 1.22. Are we excited for that? Yes. All right. Well, for some of them, right? One other thing to talk about, which they would clarify, they did clarify in there somewhere, and I must have skipped over it. But we're going to look at it specifically, is the new ranking system. Anybody else hate the new ranking system? I know I do. It feels like you get far more penalized than you do lift in rank. It seems to me like whenever I win, I barely get any rank, and whenever I lose a big chunk. So I got to win like 3 games to 1 in order to lift my level, since they've made the tweak to the matchmaking. But let's explain what the matchmaking is so that you can understand it better, at least, because some people are freaking out that they could be a POA and they're getting paired with somebody who's just starting or whatever. You got to understand that when they were resetting the tier levels, somebody might have been at Vainglorious rank last season. They get dropped all the way back down, and they haven't had time to play Vainglory during the new season, so their new rank is just starting. Well, if you made it to Vainglorious skill tier level, you're not just starting. So they have something called the MMR. I'm not going to read all of this to you. It's on their website. You can go see it. But they have something called the MMR, the matchmaking rating, right there, which they have never reset, which basically means they're taking all of the stats from all of your games and determining what level you're on. So it doesn't matter whether you got reset or not, especially now that they're taking away the reset and you don't have to climb back up the tier ladder. It's based on your MMR now. It's not based on your visual skill tier, which is what you see, which is the credible threat, which is the Gat Swagger, which is the POAs, which is the Vainglorious, whatever it is. So the MMR rating is a hidden statistic that we track that has never reset, and this MMR, not your visual skill tier, determines the allies and opponents the matchmaker places you with in ranked matches. So if you're stressing out about the people that you're getting matched with, understand that that's what's going on. They're not using the visual skill tier. They're using the matchmaking rating, okay? I think there's something going on with how much experience you gain in your visual tier skill, but that's just me. Maybe I just suck. I don't know. So anyways, just wanted to touch on that because that was another thing that had been coming up a lot lately. Okay. And the final thing that we're going to touch on here in the War Report, thank you for hanging out with us today on our War Report. Check us out next week. I will have another War Report for you next week, which may not be quite as long because this one was super long. We got an update coming out, so there's lots of stuff going on in the world of Vainglory right now. Let's talk about the free heroes, okay? So this week's free heroes, we have Alpha, we have Arden, we have Blackfeather, we have Catherine, okay? We also have Kestrel, and finally we have Kroll. So those are going to be your free heroes. So if you don't have those heroes unlocked yet, make sure you check them out. This week, for 7 days, you can check them out for free. If you haven't unlocked any of these or all of these, you know, Alpha is just getting a nerf. Some of these are great characters. I love just about all of them on this list. So check them out. If you're wondering who your next unlock should be and you don't have one of these 6 characters unlocked, these are the free characters that are available for this week. So go check them out. Get your play on. Take advantage of the freeness, and then you know who to spend your glory on. Because let's face it, 8,000 glory to unlock a character takes you a long time. Even with all these chest bonuses and now with the quest, it still takes a long time to build up 8,000 glory. So spend it wisely. Or if you're using ice, now you're using real money. So spend it wisely. Take advantage of those free characters. I am Belligerent. This was the War Report. Follow me at Twitter at Belligerent Builds. Check me out on Twitch. I'm broadcasting usually around 7 or 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time every night. Twitch TV/Belligerent. Check out my guides on Vainglory Fire. I will have a Baron guide released on day 1. So released tomorrow, later tomorrow, because I gotta actually play them to know what I'm talking about first. But we will have that being released tomorrow evening. Check it out on Vainglory Fire, Belligerent Builds. The complete Baron guide will be released. Trust me, it's already in the works. And we hope to see you soon. We hope you come hang out with me on Twitch. Send me a tweet. Ask me questions if you got any questions. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope to see you next week on the War Report.